Welcome to the Mediterranean island of Cyprus and round 5 of the World Rally Championship. This blend of ancient and modern plays host to tens of thousands of holidaymakers each summer. But for 1 week a year, the world's best rally drivers are here, with their thoughts anywhere but on sun and surf. Cyprus is the slowest event in the championship, with average speeds only around 60 kilometers an hour. The high temperatures and thousands of corners also mean that it's hard work for the crews.
The country is okay, the weather is good, but the roads are not nice.
Cyprus is the first gravel rally of the season and the 5th successive European event, although the 3rd largest island in the Mediterranean lies to the south of Turkey and so is actually closer to Asia than Europe. As usual, 3 days make up the rally, the 20 stages covering a little over 320 kilometres. The rough gravel roads mean the event is one of the toughest in the calendar, as Peugeot discovered last year when all of their cars retired from the rally. Not surprisingly, they'll be hoping for better fortunes this year.
It has been a difficult rally for us the last 2 years before, but now I think we are quite okay with the car and with the tyres also.
It's actually quite a lot rougher this year than I think it has been the last couple of years, so it could be even worse again this year.
The Cyprus Rally is also the newest round of the World Championship. This is only the 3rd time it's been a part of the series. The previous 2 WRC rounds here have both been won by Ford drivers. Carlos Sainz in 2000.
Anyway, well done.
And Colin McRae last year.
Well done.
A string of problems, including a broken finger, mean that McRae will be looking for a good run this weekend.
Yeah, I was pleased to be back on a gravel surface, and obviously a rally that the Ford's been very competitive on for the last 2 years, so we're looking for a good result.
Like Ford, Subaru use Pirelli tyres, and like McRae, both their drivers are hoping for a change of fortune. Tommy Mäkinen has retired on all of the last 3 rallies and wants to put those disappointments behind him.
Of course it's some kind of a challenge for me again, because first time on gravel with the new car and new tyres. But feeling is very good at the moment. It's quite relaxed feeling, and we have done good preparation. It should be alright.
Last year's Cyprus Rally ended in flames for Peter Solberg, who's still looking for his first WRC victory. He's confident that it could come this weekend.
I like the rough stages. I like very technical and very twisty roads, so I think it will be a good rally.
In 2001, Skoda were the only team to get all of their cars to the finish of the event, and they hope that strength may be the key to success this year.
I'm quite confident that we have a strong car which handles very nice as well, but on the other hand you had to be lucky, me as well as all the other drivers, because you had to cope with so many loose stones here, which every car in front of you move, around.
2 other teams will also tackle the challenge of the Cypriot roads. Hyundai's Freddie Loix, 5th last year, is joined by the 4-time world champion Juha Kankkunen. Finally, Mitsubishi are no doubt glad to get back to gravel after a string of disappointing performances on tarmac. Finland's Jani Parsonen will drive a 3rd Lancer alongside team regulars Alistair McRae and Francois Delacour. After 4 rounds, this is how the Drivers' World Championship looks. Marcus Grönholm has a 1-point lead over Gilles Panizzi, while the reigning champion Richard Burns makes it an all-Peugeot top 3. Not surprisingly, the French team's dominance so far also means they have a huge lead in the Manufacturers Series, 27 points over Ford.
Here we have a road very representative to what we'll be driving on the rally. Due to the rally running much earlier this year, we've been affected by a lot of the winter rains. As you can see, a lot of the rain has washed the gravel off the surface, and we've got a lot of exposed rocks. Above all else, this is going to be one of our biggest problems, rocks with sharp edges, that's actually going to tear our tyres to shreds and also give us a lot of punctures. I'm almost sure of that.
This particular tyre is designed for how the gravel surface has got big blocks on the shoulder to give the best wear resistance inside and outside, and lot of little blocks in the middle in order to drain the gravel out of the contact patch and give the best grip on it. If the weather change, this is a tire for soft gravel and wet condition. Is a asymmetric tire with a traction block on internal side, and on the external is the blocks is rotated to give the best grip when the car is leaning in a corner. We also used to cut this tire according to the amount of mud is on the surface to give the best braking and traction. Puncture is a big problem here in Cyprus, but with the mousse system, the driver can go at the same speed as the puncture doesn't happen at all. After the puncture, the mousse expands and keeps the shape and the performance of the tire to the end of the stage. We believe with this tire we can win the rally again.
Day one saw the rally's first 6 stages to the north of the host city, Limassol. 3 in the morning, and then the same 3 repeated in the afternoon. Some 100 kilometres or so of twisty, rocky roads. First to arrive at the start of stage 1 was championship leader Marcus Gronholm, aware that running first on the road is usually not a good idea on dry gravel. The rally's move to much earlier in the season, though, means that there's much less in the way of loose gravel to sweep away. Gronholm and co-driver Timo Rautiainen were third fastest. Richard Burns and Robert Reed, the 2001 world champions, couldn't match the pace of their colleagues and were only 9th fastest. Was just 12th quickest. His Subaru's rear suspension was too soft, and so the Finn was taking things relatively easy, rather than risk damaging the car so early on. Sainz was rejoined by Luis Moya, who missed the previous round in Spain after a testing accident. Despite having his regular co-driver back, Sainz was the first to run into problems. A drive shaft pulling out around 4 kilometres from the end of the stage meant only 3-wheel drive and about 16 seconds lost.
Drive shaft broken.
Go, Carlo. Are you at the end of the stage?
Yes. We are at the end, but the last 4 gates we have broken drive.
With Sainz and Moya facing the prospect of another 2 stages before service, teammates Colin McRae and Nicky Grist showed the kind of pace which saw them win here last year. They were fastest and so took an early, if slender, lead.
Slow through above water. Into 6 left right. Into left tightens the long slow 3. Left and right tightens the 3. 30. 3 left tightens long.
Petter Solberg was second quickest, the Subaru just 0.6 of a second slower than the Ford. Like Sainz though, Solberg had rear transmission problems.
No diff pressure at all, so it's not easy to brake sometimes, you know. So no 4-wheel drive.
With Sainz almost certain to lose further time, attention shifted to Ford's third driver, Marco Martin. The Estonian and his English co-driver Michael Park were 4th fastest on stage 1, and knew that with the top 2 finishes from each team scoring manufacturer points, they were now crucial to Ford. Freddie Neuxen's Sven Smits were 5th here last year in a Mitsubishi, but their first gravel stage in a Hyundai Accent saw the Belgian car set the 5th fastest time, just 1/10 of a second quicker than Kenneth Ericsson's Skoda. If we take another look at one short section of the stage, Colin McRae's Ford is far more nose-heavy than Richard Burns' Peugeot over the jump, although McRae is quicker. So after just 11.6 kilometres, this was the rally's first leaderboard. McRae led Solberg with third placed Gronholm and Ericsson in sixth, separated by less than 2.5 seconds. Behind the point scoring places, Francois Duval headed the chasing pack, although 7th to 12th were covered by only 4.6 seconds. Stage 2 is a 15-kilometre affair, with some fans' allegiance easier to spot than others. Marcus Gronholm was again third fastest, although he dropped to fourth overall. Since New Zealand last September and is determined to restart that winning streak at Cyprus. The man who beat him in New Zealand, Richard Burns, is now his teammate. Cyprus is the first loose surface event for Peugeot. Burns was only 12th fastest on stage 2.
Flat right, 70, fast right minus tightens 20, K right, 30.
With only three-wheel drive, Carlos Sainz had expected to lose more time, but he wasn't wrong. Over a minute down on the stage winner, Sainz was already back in 20th place, with one more stage before his mechanics could repair the transmission.
And 3 right minus.
Fourth fastest, Colin McRae had none of his teammates' problems, but the Scot had still lost his lead.
30, 3 right tightens over jump, into 2 left minus. And right tightens to 3, 32 left tightens.
At least he didn't have to worry about the Solberg. He had a frustrating time with his rear transmission on stage 2.
Keep in into 1 left minus tightens. Into 1 right plus, half long. Into 1 right plus, half long, opens of a crest 30. 1 left minus tighten.
But there was more to come.
30. Tighten short, hairpin right. Opens. Okay. Hairpin right, opens 30.
As one young star struggled, another shone. 21-year-old Francois Duval is attempting to win this year's Junior World Rally Championship, but also has a limited programme in a Ford Focus World Rally car. He set the fastest time on the stage, his first ever WRC stage win, to leapfrog from 7th place into the lead. Marco Martin second fastest and found in 2nd place. Ford's decision to sign the pair looked to have been a smart move, even if it might prove to be expensive in tyres.
A good time for me is no problem. The stage is very sleepy. The car is okay.
5th fastest, behind 3 Fords and Gronholm's Peugeot, was the Hyundai of Freddie Loix. As Loix swapped his tyres in readiness for stage 3, he knew that his closest challenger was now Manfred Stoll in a privately entered Ford Focus, now one of 4 of the cars in the top 6. Thanks to Virtual Spectator, we can get an overview of the rally's 3rd stage, the 21.5-kilometre Agios Theodoros test, which makes its debut on the rally this year. It's quite a fast-flowing stage, although there are some more typical sections of slower corners. The cars will take a little over 20 minutes to complete the 21 kilometres, an idea of just how slow this rally is. The sun was still shining on Marcus Gronholm. Despite only being 5th fastest, the 2000 world champion was back up to 3rd overall. Stages 4, 5 and 6 would be repeats of the first 3, so the conditions would be more or less equal for all the leading crews. Gronholm must have been hugely relieved that the rally's move to April had helped with the road conditions, so he hadn't suffered from running first. Second in the championship after the Rally Catalunya is Gilles Panizzi, happier on asphalt than gravel. The Frenchman had been in 16th place going into stage 3, but precious seconds would be spent slowing down.
Gauche 85 long. Droite à fond, coup droit.
Richard Burns grew up competing on gravel but was still off the pace. Only 14th fastest on stage 3, Burns wasn't entirely happy with the 206's handling, something the Peugeot mechanics would be able to look at back in Limassol.
Fast left, tightens maybe to fast left, long, 40, flat left, 10, K right low, 20. Easy left, 60. Slow medium left, tightens at maybe long 10. K right plus in low.
Mäkinen was 6th fastest on the stage, still unhappy at his soggy rear suspension setup, now also driving in the dark. His electronic display screen wasn't working, and so he didn't even know what gear he was in. Colin McRae was 4th quickest. With Duval's tyres hardly up to their task after his charge on stage 2, the young Belgian was only 7th fastest, and so McRae was now back up to 2nd overall once again. Petter Solberg's 2 spins and rear transmission problems meant he went into stage 3 in 7th place. For Solberg and co-driver Phil Mills, though, any thoughts of a first WRC victory were about to evaporate. The Subaru's fly-by-wire throttle cable had come off, forcing the pair to fabricate a temporary repair and allowing Alistair McRae's Mitsubishi to overtake them. McRae, like Delacour and the other Lancer, had been looking forward to getting back onto gravel, but when Solberg eventually got going again after losing nearly 4 minutes, he caught Alistair, who'd broken a drive shaft and so also lost around a minute. It hadn't been a good morning for Sun.
2 left minus half long, tightens 1, okay, take him. Into 1 left, tightens.
But not all of the news from stage 3 was bad. Marco Martin and Michael Park set the fastest time to move into the lead of a rally for the first time. At the end of the stage, it's clear that Park thinks the tyres have as much to do with their performance as his driver.
Stop. Ooh, thank you, Pirelli.
Second fastest on the stage was the Hyundai of Juha Kankkunen, while the tap-dancing Kenneth Eriksson in the Skoda was 3rd quickest. The Octavia was now 5th overall, with Kankkunen's Accent in 7th place. Using the virtual spectator parallel racing system for the first time on this rally, we can see that Solberg was losing ground even before his throttle problem. McRae and Mäkinen are more or less together, with Burns starting to drop back, but just look at Solberg's time loss over just this 20-second section. Stopping to repair the throttle cable then ended any thoughts of victory.
Marco, 2 stage wins this morning, 1st overall. What a terrific start.
Yes, we are very pleased, I think. Okay, we did expect it to be competitive, but just at the moment we are running further back than the front runners, so it helps us. But I mean, the focus has been really reliable and no problems with the car.
Petter, you're looking really disappointed. What happened this morning?
Everything. I'm working so hard every time, and it's always something is happening, and I don't know.
With the unhappy Solberg unwilling to leave the privacy of his car, we then witnessed one of the most remarkable scenes unfolding. Former teammate but now championship rival Colin McRae eased himself into the Subaru's right-hand seat and spent the next 10 minutes comforting Petter, a situation you'd never see in most other forms of world motorsport. Solberg was then able to drive into the service area so that his mechanics could fix the problems, but his Impreza wasn't the only car receiving attention. At Peugeot, Gilles Panizzi's 206 was getting some bodywork repairs after his roll, while at Ford there was a new gearbox awaiting Carlos Sainz's Focus.
Watch your son!
Stage 4 was a rerun of the rally's opener. The organisers looked to have regraded the stages, which meant the first time through they'd been relatively smooth. No such luxury on the repeat, however. Gronholm was 5th quickest the second time through the stage after hitting a large rock and picking up a puncture. At the finish, the anxious Finn was quickly out of the car to check for damage, but the Moose system had worked to prevent the tyre deflating. The stage winner in the morning, Colin McRae, was 2nd fastest this time, but that didn't really matter. He and Nicky Grist had moved back into the lead once again, swapping places with Marco Martin and Michael Park.
3 left tightens. In 2 left and 2 right plus.
with Sainz continuing to lose precious seconds with a power steering fault this time. McRae and Martin now held the hopes of the 14 in their hands. 1.4 seconds quicker than McRae and setting the fastest time was the frustrated and very determined Petter Solberg, still well outside the top 20.
Line into 2 right minus, keep in 20, 1 left plus, keep in, tightens 20, bump into 1 left plus, tightens half long 50, bump into don't cut 1 left plus 40, 6 right, keep in 30, 3 left, keep in, tightens over crest and hairpin right, opens 80, 3 right plus, tightens minus, keep in, into 1 left minus, double tightens.
2 other youngsters were enjoying mixed fortunes. Francois Duval's superb run was continuing. 3rd fastest, he was now in 3rd place behind McRae and Martin, but the earlier charge by Manfred Stoll in a privately run Focus had faded. Only 10th fastest, the Austrian was now down in 12th place. So, Ford drivers now held all of the top 3 positions, with less than 8 seconds separating them. Gronholm was only 6/10 of a second behind Duval, with Ericsson and Mäkinen rounding off the top 6. Kankanen, Loix and Armin Schwarz were 7th, 8th and 9th for Hyundai, while Burns was still a lowly 10th. Stage 5, and the spectators were basking in the sunshine. Gronholm so very nearly set the fastest time, just 2/10 of a second slower than the stage winner, but the performance was enough to lift him from 4th to 2nd place. Finally giving Subaru something to celebrate was Tommi Mäkinen. His rear suspension had been changed at service, his computer screen was working again, and Mäkinen set the fastest time, moving up a place as a result. The rally leader was still Colin McRae, now hardly troubled by the little finger he broke on round 3 in Corsica.
30, 6 right over crest and K left tightens to 2.
But his younger brother was far less happy. Alistair McRae had picked up a 10-second penalty for leaving service late, and stage 5 then saw a double drive shaft failure, which cost yet more time. Stage 6, the last of the day, was a repeat of the test which had seen Panizzi's role earlier in the day. To his relief, Panizzi's teammate Gronholm drove through the stage with no sign of those kind of dramas. 4th fastest, Gronholm kept his cool to end day 1 in 2nd place. Definitely not keeping his cool was Richard Burns. The comparatively slow speeds of the Cyprus rally means that not much air gets into the cars. Burns was feeling the heat. Colin McRae was again fastest on stage 6 to end the day with a lead of little under 7 seconds from Gronholm.
Three left plus opens long and tightens to 2 plus 30.
Marco Martin shared the 2nd fastest stage time with Petter Solberg to return to Limassol in 3rd place. It had been a terrific day for the Ford team. With the exception of Sainz and his gearbox and then power steering faults, the day really belonged to the team. They'd won 4 of the 6 stages, had 2 cars in the podium places, and their newest star, Francois Duval, had even set his first fastest stage time in the process. Duval and co-driver Jean-Marc Fortin was 6th fastest on stage 6 and will start leg 2 in 4th place. This is how the leaderboard looks tonight. McRae, Gronholm and Martin are covered by exactly 14 seconds, with Duval, Mäkinen and Kenneth Ericsson completing the top 6. 9th placed Richard Burns will be hoping to get more airflow into the car tomorrow to avoid a repeat of his heat stroke symptoms.
Richard, you're not feeling 100% after that last stage. What happened?
It just incredibly hot inside the car. I very close to throwing up at the end of the stage and a bit difficult to concentrate. I mean, it's the same for all of us.
So we're going to see more speed tomorrow and on Sunday, do you think?
For sure, we have a great position at the moment, so we have to try to keep up the speed.
You must be very happy with second at the end of day one.
Yeah, it's better what I expect, much better. It's good. Now we have to continue like this and keep our position, maybe small fight with Colin if it's possible.
Colin, end of day one, you seem to have started this rally as you finished it last year.
Yeah, hopefully we can keep it going for another 2 days. It's going really well. I mean, we expected to be back on the pace here, but you know, the result at the moment is perfect.
Nice as well that Colin's been kept honest by two of your own drivers as well as Gronholm.
Yeah, I'd rather it was just our two drivers apart from, as well as Gronholm being in there, but obviously that's something we've got to live with.
So, Colin McRae leads tonight, but so far the event hasn't lived up to its car-breaking reputation. From day one of the Cyprus Rally, good night.